All right, we are back on the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith. How is everybody doing out there tonight? Friday night call-in show. Let me get the number up as well. Something going on. Oh, they got Belichick, making statements about the Giants. I'm not shocked whatsoever. Let me get the phone number up. Let me get this retweeted. Get the phone number up. Probably leave this open for a half hour at least. Get this done. Okay. I know this is just riveting podcasting for everyone out there. I gotta where's that at? Okay. Almost put my personal number in there. That would have been a doozy. So there's that. Got the number to call on the ticker below. Number to call 260-255-4069. YouTube TV just announced a deal. ESPN is back on YouTube TV. So there is that. Everybody can get rid of the, I'm not going to say bad, good, bad, or sad ESPN app. It is what it is at this point. Some people got it and other people's went without, but they were losing money, obviously. Oh boy, don't want to do that. But they were losing money on that. Also, number to call 260-255-4069. Bill Belichick, I guess, released a statement. Let me see if I can find that. Bill Belichick's UNC coach Bill Belichick released a statement. I have great respect and genuinely care for the New York Giants organizations, both the Mara and Tisch families. The New York Giants played an important role in my life and in my coaching journey. Okay. So, and then Greg Sankey on the ESPN stuff. Also, phone line is open. Number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. Appreciate everybody out there. If you can do us the biggest favor, hit that like and subscribe button. The Walt Disney Company announces a multi-year distribution agreement with YouTube TV. As part of the new deal, Disney's just basically telling you they're giving you the networks back. And the channels are going to return as early as tomorrow for college football. So there is that. That is something that is brewing in the works. So there is that. Also, number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. If you want to get your call in. Also, you guys watching on TikTok as well, hit the link in the bio and come on over to YouTube. That helps us with the algorithm as well, and it helps with everything going on. Also, programming note, Saturday night, Texas, Georgia is going to be the game that we are going to have a watch party for, plus a post-game show, and the phone lines will be open tomorrow night as well. So there is that. number to call, 260-255-4069 is the number to call. So I guess the Belichick stuff is going to get real with the Giants. I don't know how realistic that is, to be honest. I think Bill wants to appreciate the share, my guy. I don't know how much it's going to be. There's a lot of things going on. The Lane Kiffin, Florida debacle. Just hearing the guys, Neil McCready spoke at length about the Lane Kiffin thing the other night on MPW Digital. He's a beat writer for Ole Miss. Been doing it a long time, and the sentiment that I pulled out of what he had to say is I feel that there is real smoke around this Florida thing. I think that it has the ability to get very, very interesting. I think that the Ole Miss people are not going to be thrilled with everything coming down the pipe that has to do with Lane Kiffin. I kind of had some fun stuff go on today, and so there's that. Sorry, I'm typing away, sending a text message, but there's that. Also, number to call, 260-255-4069 is the number to call. We are live on YouTube as well, and we are live on Twitter or X. We are live on X and TikTok as well, so there is that. If you got something you want to talk about, go ahead and ring the Duke, and we can get it going. So there is that. Also, appreciate the folks hitting the subscribe button. That helps the channel a ton. It's big time. We're just just a small group of folks trying to get this together. So there is that. Lane Kiffin, Florida. We have that going on. You have Eli Drinkowitz possibly on the move. You have what's going on tonight. Louisville, Jeff Brom. I think it would be a pretty big statement win for the Cards tonight if Brom pulls this one out against Dabo and the folks. Not a great year. That would push Clemson to that would be Clemson's 6th loss. Dabo and the folks down there just having a tough year. I don't think that you can. I don't know how it's all going to shake out. The ACC picture is very murky at best. ACC picture very murky. SEC picture is kind of cloudy, but you're going to get some more clarity on it coming in the next couple of days or the next couple of weekends. So it's going to be fascinating on how the whole thing shakes out. I think who's Auburn going to hire, who's Arkansas going to hire, just a lot of things going on there. Also, number to call, 260-255-4069. The phone line is yours. It is open. So if you want to call, go ahead and jump on in there. So there is that. That's what we got rolling. Nothing 100% too serious. Just going to simply reading the news. They are melting down in Clemson land. Stupid bird for a mascot, similar covers, trash fans, etc. That is on TigerNet via message board Genius. Also, Pete Thamel reposted from another reporter. UVA quarterback Chandler Morris upgraded to probable for tomorrow's game. That is This is very, very fascinating. So, just looking at it from that, also YouTube TV announces the deal to get back on with Disney. Very convenient that got solved right before the biggest weekends coming up, and I'm sure people were putting a lot of pressure on them to get that deal done. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to get that deal done because having the two different apps and everything like that is just not economical for folks. But there's that helps everyone involved. Also, I who's the other game tonight? There's another game live tonight, Minnesota Oregon on Fox. So there is that. I was thinking they were probably thinking Louisville, and they were probably thinking Louisville and Clemson was going to be a good game at the beginning of the year. Turns out, no dice. So there is that. So not a whole lot. Not a whole lot going on. I'm just glad they got the YouTube TV deal done. I'm sure fans of everybody are happy with that. Also, phone line is open. Number to call. 260-255-4069 is the number to call. So there is that. Let me get the iPad opened up. Make sure I'm not missing anything. But yeah. Number to call, 260-255-4069. Trying to go down through on what other pressing topics we got going for this evening. Also, we have the games this weekend as well. Oklahoma taking on Alabama, Arkansas, LSU. I think that's going to be fascinating. I have LSU folks trying to actively sell their tickets in my TikTok comments. Tennessee is going to blow the doors off of New Mexico State. I think Florida, Ole Miss is when the executioner shows up. Kentucky takes on 10-0 Tennessee Tech. And then Missouri getting a little bit of a late start. Missouri, Mississippi State going to be kicking off at 7:45. So there's that. I think that Texas is on the brink. They are on life support. Their season's on life support. Because if they take a loss here, I think if Texas takes a loss against Georgia, it could be big time issues going down the stretch for them. Also, hoops action. Ole Miss is up big. Duke is up big. Kentucky is up big. So that's the beginning part of college basketball season wrapped up in a nutshell. Nothing really going on. So there's that. Looking at it, I mean, ABC Disney is crushing CBS in the TV ratings. Speaking of that, the TV ratings last week for Week 11, Alabama at LSU did 7.5 million. Fox comes in with Penn State, Indiana. I would say that number came in late with Big Noon Kickoff. And then CBS cracks it. Finally, CBS gets into the top 3 of games. It only took them 11 weeks to do that, but CBS at 5.4 million. They have not had a number 1 game yet this year. A&M Missouri did 4.9 million. BYU Texas Tech, which ABC had that one as well. Out of the top 5 games, ABC has 3 of them. 1 going to Fox and 1 going to CBS finally this week. And then NBC comes in, Notre Dame Navy. That was kind of a snooze fest. TCU, Iowa State did a pretty decent number. It did better than State and Georgia, but I think the reason why it did better than State and Georgia is because I mean, that was kind of an uncompetitive game. But also, phone lines open. Number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. But also, looking at it in a totality standpoint, I'm not shocked really. Just and then Nebraska, UCLA does a pretty decent number, and then Northwestern USC did meh, okay. One of the things that I saw on Instagram, this College Sports Daily, they made a post. They posted it was a retweet of Texas unveiling their uniforms, bringing the ice to Athens, and they're wearing all white. Like Texas's uniforms has changed much. And then the commenter goes on to say, Texas doing uniform reveals the same uniforms they've worn since the Truman administration will never not be hilarious. I find that hilarious of in itself. But so there's that. We'll probably roll a short one tonight. I'm not gonna be mad at it. So I get it. It's Friday night. A lot of people got a lot of things going on. So there's that. A lot of not a ton of controversy, but also take this time as well to last chance you Langley College head football coach John Beam has died. It was announced 5 hours ago. He was shot on campus. Just an absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe that. Hopefully him and his hopefully his family can get through that. That's just a tough situation all the way around. Somebody had sent the article. I have not read said article before I came on air. I know he was on Last Chance U, so there is something of that to be said. So, hopefully his family can get through the tough time and be at peace. Just a unfortunate situation. It's too much. Not to bring everybody's mood down, but just one of those things. Hate to see it. Also, number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. Oh, who do we got here? Is this Joe?
Yo, Ducati.
What's going on, Joe?
Hey, what were you saying? Who died?
A junior college coach. He was on Last Chance U. He was the head football coach at Langley. I believe it was Langley Junior College. John Beam. I believe that's I want to say Northern California, somewhere around Oakland, maybe. I'm not 100%.
And what's the name? Yeah, because I'm right out there.
Yes, it was in Oakland. That university or junior college is in Oakland. It's Langley College.
And it's called what?
Langley College. It's a junior.
Langley?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
It's not familiar to me, but.
Yeah, it's a small university. He was shot on campus. Unbelievable.
Guns. Everybody needs a gun.
So, yeah.
You know what they should do? They should have guns that are not like, long range. If you want to have a gun to protect your property, I get that. But, if you're sitting there like a sniper, like 300, 400, 500 yards away, it's like, why make those guns available to people?
Yeah, that's a whole can of worms. That's a
I know.
That's a whole.
And hunters would be the first ones to yell at me for that because they like to hunt. And, I know a lot of hunters, and most of them, they eat what they kill, so I'm all for that because you gotta survive, and that's how you do it. We just have a supermarkets to do our killing, or buying from those guys, and so I mean I get it. I just when you have these kind of gunshots at universities and things like that, it's like then you go back to, well, why do you really need to have a gun? But anyway,
Yeah, the whole gun rights thing, that's a loaded question for a lot of folks.
yeah, no pun intended.
Yeah. Also, I'm seeing some stuff around
Locked and loaded.
Yeah, Ed Orgeron, apparently is in the mix for,
LSU.
no, in the mix for Arkansas.
Oh, he'd be a good fit there. I'd like that.
I can't believe Orgeron wants to get back in it.
Well, he's a football guy. He's not the smartest guy in the world, but he's a football guy.
Well, the thing with Orgeron,
I don't know his misdeeds, but I tend to let that stuff slide unless it's something egregious.
well,
Child molesting kind of thing.
no,
Then it's like, stone him to death in the town square.
I don't think Orgeron had any. I don't think Orgeron had any big issues. I think he had some, just some off the field stuff, guys being knuckleheads. But that's
Yeah,
just pretty much that's pretty much any program.
Yeah.
When you look around at
No,
it.
I mean, yeah, he was an entertaining kind of a coach too. Like he was really a good interview.
Well, the thing that Orgeron did was he put together a really good roster and then got out of the way. He let Joe Brady and Dave Aranda run that team. Joe Brady running the offense, and Dave Aranda running the defense.
He probably knew they were smarter than him, so that was a pretty smart move by the old man. How old is he anyway?
I think Orgeron's 63 or 64, but I heard there was some smoke with him around UCLA. So I don't know. I think Orgeron. I think he's going to get one last.
Fit at UCLA.
Well, he was at USC for years with Carroll.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that.
I don't know if
UCLA is not the same as USC. They're close, but in proximity, but two different entirely.
I'll be interested to see what investment UCLA has going forward in football. I think you almost have to keep Rick Neuheisel's kid there.
It's a state school, so right off the bat, they're not going to be able to compete financially. Like they'll be okay, but they're not going to be, anything that like OSU or that range.
Well, the problem is that a lot of people yell at me when I say this, but here's the issue. When you have a program like a UCLA that has not won anything in upwards of 25 years, we'll just say 25 years, they have not been competitive. Maybe a couple of years, maybe a couple years under Kelly, but largely they've been uncompetitive. It's hard to go out there and fundraise money to get people to come and invest in the program when you haven't won anything.
Right.
So
no, they were actually pretty good in the 90s. Like they actually had, I think they won like 7 out of 10 against USC in the 90s.
Yeah, because USC was on before Carroll got there. I know they were on hard times, like around the Keyshawn Johnson stuff. Also, in other news, did you see this? Did you see that Rick George, the Colorado athletic director, is stepping down?
Colorado, yeah.
He's
probably gotten pressure. They probably said, Dion wasn't the right call, and we'll let you step down, but we're going to make some changes, and it's probably going to be Dion gone too. Where do you think Dion would fit next?
Well, Dion can't go. He's got to stay at Colorado.
He's got to go back to FCS, I think. He's not good enough yet to be a power conference kind of coach,
Well,
he's not there yet.
The problem is that I think
this is a good experience, though.
I think that he is surrounded by a whole bunch of people that don't want to upset the apple cart. Do I think the Lewis kid could probably play or develop into something? Yeah. But at the end of the day, when Travis and Shador left, here's the problem Colorado has. This is just my opinion. I don't follow it that close.
Right.
I don't follow it every snippet.
I don't either.
I don't think Colorado has a plan for post Deion Sanders, and that's going to hurt them significantly.
Yeah, but how many coaches or how many universities did have a plan after they fired their coach?
I think Arkansas had a plan. Anybody but Pittman. I think LSU. I think LSU was on to something. I've seen a lot of people reporting.
Don't say Kiffin. Don't say Kiffin.
No. I think that you had a ton of issues. I think I seen Lincoln Riley's name getting leaked to USC. So I think there's something to be or not USC, LSU.
Lincoln to LSU.
Yeah, I think that would be
I don't think he's good enough.
I think he could come into the SEC and have success. The problem would be here's one thing that got explained to me. A former coach that I talked to had told me that people want to bring up, the majority of people will bring up fit. He doesn't fit. He doesn't fit. Instead of saying he doesn't fit, just say he doesn't win.
He doesn't win, right?
Instead of covering it and trying to be nice about it, just say he doesn't win. And I think Lincoln Riley could win at LSU because he would have every resource available. I don't think USC knows what the hell they're doing.
USC. Yeah. No, I don't think they like their AD. At least they didn't for a long time. And then all of a sudden, last year they showed a spark that was not great, but it was something for Lincoln, and then because I think that was Williams' last year, wasn't it, Caleb?
No, the year before was Williams' last year, and it didn't go well. But here's the other thing. I think this is the other issue. Some people in California would probably vehemently disagree and tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But here's the thing. Not everybody wants to live in LA.
Right.
I mean, not everybody wants to live in LA. That's the kind of the bare bones problem with it. And I think that's one of the things
but the thing is, young kids would love it. Young kids would love it.
You got to remember, also, Lincoln Riley doesn't recruit a state either.
Well, they made that change by getting that Notre Dame.
Oh yeah,
whatever his title was. Bowen. Chad Bowen.
Yeah, the Bowen character. But at the end of the day, this whole GM thing that's going on with college football, I kind of think it's a joke. Look at how well it's going at North Carolina. I think Belichick, he released a statement today talking about the Giants. I think he only did that was to pique interest and try to leak himself to it. I don't know who his agent is or who his
son.
No, they ain't going to hire Steve. If he left North Carolina has to hire Steve, which I don't I don't know if that would be any.
I think he's just grooming his son to go somewhere because his son loves the game, just like he did.
Well,
so I think he's really staying involved just because of his son.
It's really hard to. How do I want to put this in context? It's going to be really hard for Steve Belichick to make his own way because having the name Belichick is a gift and a curse, in my opinion.
Well, look at the Charlie Weiss Jr. I mean, he made his own way, know?
But also, Charlie Weiss Jr. is not coaching for his dad. He's working with Lane Kiffin. That's the difference.
Exactly. But that's the thing I'm saying is he carved his own path once he got old enough.
Yeah.
He was like a grad assistant or something at Notre Dame, and then Charlie left, and he just went on to his own thing. And I don't think he followed him to Kansas, right? When Charlie went to Kansas?
I think he was there for a little bit, but got out when it was. I mean, there was like 5 years after the Majerus thing. Before they hired Leipold, it was just absolute. Kansas was just a wound for the Big 12. They had no investment. They just didn't have anything.
Yeah. Well, they're basketball.
So,
Kansas State is much more of a football school than Kansas.
Well, see, the problem is that Kansas State's had one good coach that's won consistently, and his name was Bill Snyder. And
I remember.
Here's the other thing. This is where people get mad. We got some Florida Urban Meyer folks that vehemently swear up and down he wasn't going to get fired. He went 7-5 his last year and took the break, and then all of a sudden he's healed and he's ready to go be the head football coach at Ohio State. Come on. You don't believe that, do you? I don't believe it.
How do you prove it wrong?
You can't. The dude was so stressed out because they were going to fire him at Florida. And also, it did not help that you had Cam Newton takes off for a year and then goes to blend a community college and then comes back in 2010, the year Urban has a bad year, and all the Florida folks are saying, oh, that Cam Newton, what a hell of a player that won the Heisman, did all of that. Oh, wait, he was on our roster, but we kicked him off, but we kept some other unsavory folks, whatever.
Yeah. Well, didn't Cam Newton go to Auburn or something?
Yeah, he went to Blinn Community College, and then he went to Auburn.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with that. A lot of the folks want to bring up that Cam Newton got paid, blah, 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 blah. Well, here's my thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's what people don't get. It doesn't matter now. Whether it comes out later he got paid or whatever. Look at where NIL is at. Do we?
Yeah.
It's like, do we care that these kids are getting paid? And they should be compensated. Look at the TV money. People don't like to hear those. They don't like to hear those numbers. And $20 million, in my opinion,
I think college.
Go ahead,
I think
Joe.
college football fans. Yeah, I was just going to say, I think college football fans were ready to see kids get paid because they were a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for these young kids. But when NIL, transfers started happening, it was like then all of a sudden these kids that are in high school had like the say of what's to be, and that to me was, they're too young, and they have parents that are just caring to do what they can for their kids, and not as many of them have the opportunity to invest in an education as opposed to take the money right there in front of you. Take it. You know what I mean?
Right. And then also, I seen some comments from Eli Drinkowitz, Missouri's head football coach. This was his on the playoff for bust mentality. This is his comment. He says, we got to get out of this. Oh man, it's playoffs or bust. If the season only counts for 12 football teams and we got 127 Division I football teams, that's that math's not going to math very well. There's a whole heck of a lot to be proud of. Is Eli Drinkowitz's comments on?
I kind of get what he's saying there.
I get what,
because you got to face it. There's Duke. There's only one team that wins the championship every year.
Right.
But so there is 150 other schools that are, whatever FCS or whatever the lower divisions are. It's like you're not going to get a win. So you want to have a kid that loves the game of football. He's probably not going to play in the pros, but he's going to have a fun time at college, playing football. It's like, then you coach the kids like that, and you like those kids, But as a coach, you're not going to win it, and as the kids there aren't going to win it, but they can have fun, Only one team wins. Hey, go out and have fun. Say I played college football,
Oh, I totally get what you're saying there. Now, here's my deal with this. This isn't my opinion, but this is the opinion of the people that are giving millions of dollars to the university to acquire talent, and the talent is not producing for what the money is, and people are getting pissed off about it. That's why you're seeing coaches get fired. And
that's why you're seeing private equity trying to come in and have their voice, more so a say in who they get. That's where it's really going to screw us over.
Oh yeah, Tony Batiti. They want to talk about Kevin Warren being the worst Big Ten commissioner. If Tony Batiti signs his private equity deal, it's going to ruin the Big Ten.
Well, they're talking about Michigan leaving and USC going independent. And, I'd love it. I would love to see teams come back to independence.
Well,
and then you just have a top 16 teams and, no conference buys, talk about buys. That's ridiculous, having a conference buy. Well, and you're including a group of 5 in there just because. And no reason, just because.
The way that they schedule, I think the SEC does it right. Because some universities, and I get it, some of the universities in the SEC, I know Saban started doing it with Alabama. They would play like Furman week 11 before they would play Auburn. I think that's better than his thing is that's better than having a bye. But I've also seen it go the opposite way. Jimbo with Texas A&M, to where they scheduled App State and they were asleep at the wheel and they end up getting beat in College Station. Also, that's one thing that I find fascinating is everybody that's a coach on the Clemson sideline, as I'm watching this game right now, is all dressed the same. They all are wearing orange with gray pants.
I like those Clemson unis, the white ones. They look good in that.
Here's what I would have thought. I would have thought Clemson would have rolled out a white helmet. I know it would probably piss off their fan base, but here's
I don't know. Have they ever had it come out in a white helmet?
I don't think so. Here's what I've noticed.
Why would you like that? Why do you say that?
I like white helmets. Like, there was people mad last year when Notre Dame wore white pants, and I said it aesthetically kind of looks better than the gold pants. I know that's unpopular, but the gold pants.
I like
the gold pants that Under Armour makes are not the. I mean, they upgraded when they went from Under Armour to Adidas. But I think a lot of schools upgrade from when they go from Adidas to Nike. But the one thing Adidas will do that I've noticed is if you're not very good, they mess with your uniforms a lot. They do. They really do. Like, if you go look at the bad programs.
Well, I tell you what, when Notre Dame wears the gold pants, it's because of the blue shirts, right?
Yeah.
You don't just see the gold pants with white shirts. So that's kind of their home look. And I like their visiting the white. I
Oh.
like when they dress in white. They look faster, and it seems like they play faster.
Oh yeah. One thing that I think is what they haven't told everybody yet with Penn State switching from Nike to Adidas. I'm sure Joe Paterno's real thrilled about that. I think they're gonna go back to the traditional Penn State look. It's gonna be the blue uniform, except they're gonna incorporate the thick white collar around the that they used to have back in the mid '90s.
What do you mean for the numbers?
It's gonna, because right now they don't have that thick around the head. They don't have that old school thick white collar. I think they're gonna put that back on there.
Yeah, I kind of, those are the two schools I used to like their white uniforms was Auburn and Penn State. When they dressed all in white, it was like they looked badass to me.
I think Auburn's got good uniforms. Auburn's got good uniforms, but there's schools out there that you can't touch the uniforms, like Alabama. I've heard stories of people complaining when Saban put the horn's tooth on there, they freaked out down there. I would also like to see. I think Georgia should wear black more often.
Who should?
Georgia.
The Buffaloes, maybe. Colorado.
Colorado's doing a lot of
they
weird.
have some black.
They're doing a lot of weird stuff to their uniforms.
I'm just thinking of the teams that have some black in their uniforms, like Rutgers, Georgia. There's a little bit of black in there. So when they go black, that's fine with me. I mean, that's part of their colors, right? But and same thing with the Buffs. But these other teams that just say, let's just go black. Well, all right, but it doesn't do much for me.
I think Ohio State has really good black uniforms as well when they decide to wear them, but Ohio State doesn't wear alternates very often because the blue hairs in Buckeye Land freak out when they don't wear the traditional uniforms.
Yeah. See, Ohio State's another one that I like their white uniforms better than their red,
I think it was
I don't know what.
I think it was when they played Oregon, they wore all white and people got upset about it. They're like, why can't we just wear the gray pants? Why can't we wear the gray pants? And it's just like, come on. They got to
Maybe that was a psychological. Maybe it was a psychological move because Oregon does a lot of the white always.
Yeah. And then when they wore the all scarlets for the playoff game, they're like, we should be wearing our traditional uniforms for the playoffs and a lot of that business. But it's kind of like when Bill O'Brien took over Penn State. He put the names on the uniforms on the back, and people freaked out in Happy Valley.
Yeah, I think it's stupid that guys don't use their last names. Kids that are coming up, they want to be known, and it helps them marketing wise, branding.
Well, if there's a university,
and
like if there's
Notre
a university,
Dame does it only in the playoffs.
The only time I
that
have
annoys me.
The only time I have an issue with it is like somewhere like Penn State. If you've never had names on the backs of the jerseys, then never use them.
But Notre Dame used to have it. Like Joe Montana, they used to have his name on the back of his jersey. And all of a sudden, I think might have been Lou Holtz that decided to take them off. But to me, it's like, give these kids their names on their jerseys. It would help me to find out who the hell's playing and who I like, instead of having to bring the roster on my laptop to every game and say, who is that? Who is that?
I think it's interesting. A lot of people forget that he was the head football coach at South Carolina before he retired.
Yeah.
And he did an actual pretty good job there.
Yeah. He was at Arkansas too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was at Arkansas
before
too.
Notre Dame.
I'll be interested to see. Do you think I'll ask you, do you think the Drinkowitz stuff to Penn State is real? I think it's kind of real.
Well, that would be a step down for him, wouldn't it? I mean, he's at Mizzou now.
I think it's a lateral movement.
Kent State?
No, Penn.
What's their record the last 5 years?
Penn State. Penn State.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Penn State. I think it's a
I thought
lateral
you were
move.
saying Kent.
Yeah. I think it's
To
a lateral
Penn
move.
State, Drinkwitz?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would. Well, yeah, it'd be at least lateral. I think Penn State's got the better branding than Mizzou, so it'd be at least a lateral move for him.
I think Mizzou's got more money to spend in resources. I think Penn State can spend, but the thing with Penn State is are they willing to spend? I think that they went in two toes in with James Franklin this last year, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, well, they made money by joining a conference. That helped them out financially, but they're really basically a blue collar town, right? Them in Pittsburgh and
Happy Valley's up north, but
right. But it's like it's more blue collar there,
right?
Coal mines and
It's interesting to me on how that is going to shake out. That's like the Pitt stuff with the Narduzzi business. You seen what he said?
What about Narduzzi going to Penn State? Do you think he'd leave to go to Penn State?
Oh no, the people at Penn State look down their nose at the. If you're the Pitt football coach, you're not in the. You're not.
Really?
Oh yeah, that Penn State thing is real, and plus the Pitt people think they're way better than what they are.
Well,
Pitt is.
I'd have to think about the coaches that went to places. Well, I mean, look at Nick Saban. He went from Michigan State over to LSU and then SEC over to Alabama. Those teams don't necessarily like each other much, right? They're vying every year.
Well,
at least they used to try it.
The thing of the deal is that LSU is ultra competitive, and they've had multiple coaches win there. Now, the problem is that DeBoer's winning at Alabama, but from everything that I've ever heard is Saban got LSU together, he got Alabama together, and they know how to win now. Because Les Miles and Ed Orgeron won championships after Saban left. He goes to the NFL,
right,
and then he comes back and goes on probably the greatest run in college football history. What, he win 6 national championships in 17 years? Played for like 10.
Right.
And realistically, with the
Les Miles went to Michigan from the NFL. He went back to Michigan, and then where is he at? West Virginia or something now?
No, Les Miles is retired. When he got fired.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah, when he got fired at LSU, he went to Kansas because one of his buddies was the athletic director, and they did not vet Les Miles.
I thought he went to West Virginia.
He was at West Virginia for a little bit, but that was before he went to Oklahoma State, and then he left Oklahoma State and went to LSU when Saban left.
Huh.
And Gundy replaced.
So that's a long time. We're talking a long time ago, because Van Gundy's been there for at least 10 years, right?
Gundy was there 18
or
years.
Gundy?
He was there 18 years before he got fired.
Wow.
But you don't see that anymore. But I thought the Gundy thing, I thought the writing was on the wall as soon as the NIL stuff took off, because you were hearing it every week. Oklahoma State transfer. And I don't think Gundy adjusted to the landscape very well.
Well, he didn't have any financial backing, I'm sure.
Oh, I don't think so either.
Oklahoma would get the backers of, in that state. You're going to be rooting for
Well,
it's going to be a bigger chunk of the pie, donating to Oklahoma than it will to Oklahoma State.
they had T Boone Picken. That's their stadium name. He's a big oil
Right.
baron. I think he's passed away,
Right.
but I don't
Yeah.
think that Oklahoma
He's like
State was up with the times, similar to Wisconsin. They did not take the NIL.
Seriously.
Yeah. Now I'm seeing there's some other stuff coming out that SEC Unfiltered has put out there that Ed Orgeron is not going to Arkansas, simply a distraction ploy for the real hire. Arkansas did the same thing with Chris Jan during the Calipari hire. So yeah, that would make sense.
I don't. Who's saying that? The Oklahoma people?
No.
Or I'm sorry, the Arkansas people?
No, an account that I follow, some guys that are pretty tapped in. So I think that's probably pretty likely.
See, I think that would be a good fit. I think he'd be good there. Orgeron, if he wanted to come back.
It would just depend on what they want to do. Also, I did see, since you're out there in it, I did see a lot of people freaking out that UCLA is going to move to SoFi Stadium out in Inglewood from the Rose Bowl, and I'm just like, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, unless there's money involved.
Unless there's money involved, but I don't know what the commute would be. But a lot of these universities that don't have on-campus stadiums, like Pitt, that's why their atmosphere sucks. Miami, their atmosphere sucks. Yeah. Like the Pitt thing is such a pain in the ass, because I've been to a couple of Pitt games and I talked to a couple of students, and I was like, is this a big pain in the ass to get across here? Because in Pittsburgh, the campus is out in Oakland. They got to take like the tram or whatever, clear across town and cram in there. Like, nah, no thanks. They should.
By the way, Duke, let me interrupt on a different thought. Can I interrupt you on a different thought?
Yep.
Did you watch that game last night of Purdue against Alabama?
I watched a little bit of it. I didn't get I did the.
It was a pretty good game.
Pod with Richie last night.
It was a pretty good game, but following that game was the women's basketball, UCLA and North Carolina women's basketball, and it was at Pauley Pavilion, and there was a lot of open seats there. So UCLA, they don't really support football the way Midwest teams do, universities. The kids don't really show up, like they're sitting there and it's still 80 degrees out there for them. So like they have barbecues, at 8:00 at night when the game's going on. Like they don't have the same passion because there's other things to do than going to a ball game,
Oh,
but that was my point I was going to say, because UCLA is like the third ranked women's basketball team in the country, and they're good. They have this girl, Beth, at center that's very good. And then they have about 3 really wide bodies that are aggressive. And I don't know how much you follow women's basketball, but I do. I like it better than the men.
Well, it's not that I don't follow both men's and women's basketball. To me, it's still too early to get into baskendall mode. Talk to me after January 1st.
Yeah. Exactly. I told you that a few weeks ago. Show me March Madness before I'll get involved.
Well, I find it interesting when it comes to a lot of this stuff. This, not so much the how do I want to say it? Not so much the stuff that has to do with the basketball or California in general, I will agree that they have a lot to compete with. You got to compete with the beach, but also I think that you have so many alumni that don't live in California anymore. I think a lot of out of state people go to those universities.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And
but UCLA is another one of those they're a good school. They're not quite Cal or Stanford, but they're a pretty good school.
Yeah,
or CIT, I think is like the best school of every year. California Institute of Technology.
Oh, gotcha. There's a lot of good universities out there, but I just feel like in the Midwest we're more trained to, once like Big Ten conference play starts and the SEC making the gigantic financial investment into basketball, I agree. It's tougher at times to get into it. And then also, Joe, did you see that YouTube TV is back?
Oh, I didn't know.
YouTube TV is back with ESPN. They got that done.
So did they discuss the terms of their agreement or no?
They haven't came out with numbers yet, but I guess ABC Disney was losing like $3 million a week by not doing it.
Yeah, that's nothing for them, but still, it's a talking point.
Well, the amount of people that canceled YouTube TV, they had a lot of people locked in with the they had a lot of people locked in because they had the
package.
Yes, the NFL Sunday ticket. So YouTube TV gave people $20, a one-time $20 fee or a credit or whatever. I'm just happy I don't have to deal with the ESPN app. Everything's going to be normal compared to what it was, because you got to work a whole new app and interface, and it's just like, come on, guys, this is not that complicated.
I know. They make it difficult for you.
So
it's like going to a supermarket and you only get to have the electronic coupons. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah. I get you on that one. But as we're here on the East Coast, we're climbing up to 9 o'clock. Any final words, Joe, before we get ready into the college football season?
Well, what's your schedule tomorrow? What games are important to you?
I would say, now here's I'll sum this up quick so we can get everybody out of here. Because Pitt and Notre Dame play.
Notre Dame first game.
They play at noon. They're trying to make that an important game. The ESPN's not being serious, because I think Notre Dame's going to crush Pitt.
No, but I think they did their best to try and get Pitt to win by making them get some momentum by having them come there. I think they're all in Pitt's corner to want to see Notre Dame knocked out, ESPN has always hated Notre Dame because they're independent and they can't control them. But every time they have the rights to the game, they got them on TV, boy.
Oh, yeah. This is Notre Dame's second noon game on ESPN.
Yeah.
So
they'll take them any way they can get them, but they hate them because they can't control them.
I think that
they can't dictate.
Yeah, the networks kind of muck it up, but I think the other game that's going to be fascinating is everything that is around the Florida Ole Miss.
Georgia, Texas. Who? Florida who?
Florida Ole Miss. I think that's going to be interesting.
You boys, you've had a special thing for Ole Miss, I gotta say.
I will throw this caveat out there. I think that the most interesting stuff that'll happen on that game will not be on the field. It'll be at the press conferences.
Interesting.
Because last
Well,
week
it's going to be a good game because they're very even, right? So you're looking forward to that because it's going to be a good bloodbath. I think there's no real. What's the point spread? It's got to be 3 at the most, I would think.
No. Ole Miss is favored by like 15.5.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'll take the point.
Florida.
Give me Florida.
Florida had, I think they had 18 kids opt out of. They had 18 kids.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Already?
Oh yeah.
Season?
They all played that
That's
Georgia
insane,
game,
isn't
and
it?
they played well and said, "That's our tape, and we'll see you." That's
Holy cow.
That's what happened. I guess the last.
But we're in the first week of November. You know, like last week was the first week of November. Anyway.
Yeah.
They're already packing it up.
When they fired Napier, they punted the season. They shouldn't have fired Napier.
Man.
They would have been more competitive.
Well,
but
I don't know. I guess
they think Billy Napier is the problem, but they fired Will Muschamp, Jim McElwain, Dan Mullen, Billy Napier. Also, I'm throwing it on the record. They fired Urban Meyer. He didn't have a health issue. I'm not.
So they're basically LSU in the South. You know, further south.
No, because LSU has had a tradition of winning things. Florida hadn't won.
Yeah.
They hadn't won shit since until Spurrier showed up. They played football for 100 years, and it took them almost 100 years to win the SEC. And then Spurrier shows up.
Spurrier. He was a character.
Oh yeah,
he was a character. He was fun for the game.
But
I like the colorful people that are, you know, not in your face about things, but just kind of chill and they don't give a shit. You know, like those are the guys I like that do the coaching and the talking. Like Kiffin doesn't give a shit about it. And Belichick certainly doesn't, but he's toned it down coming to college. But I like those guys like Kiffin because Kiffin will just kind of tell you you're an idiot to your face without saying the word idiot. You know?
Right.
They have a
one last thing before we hop off of this. They are trying so bad to prop Pitt up on ESPN right now, and it's laughable in my opinion.
I know.
They're comparing
Notre Dame.
They're comparing their win at Florida State as one of their good wins. Florida State is awful. They're awful. So.
Yep.
But all right, Joe, it's almost 9:15. I'm about to turn into a pumpkin. Any final words?
No, sir. We'll see you. Have a good fun weekend watching football.
Oh, yeah. Also, Joe, word of advice, don't eat the Arby's steak nuggets. Don't trust them.
Okay.
I'll talk to you, Joe.
Ciao.
Yep. All right. Joe calls in. Appreciate Joe calling in. Always fun having Joe pop on the show. It is 9:00. I am sure everybody wants to get to what they're doing for the evening. We'll be back Saturday night, starting the stream, 7:25. Georgia, Texas. And that is where we'll leave you. Appreciate everybody. We're just in the infant stages of getting this call-in show off the ground. We will be back. We'll be back Monday with the call-in show, and probably Richie will stop by a couple times a week, and that is that. But appreciate everybody. Scott Wise with the cat. The cat doesn't have hair. It's also allergic to chicken. We will talk to you tomorrow, 7:25, Texas, Georgia, watch party plus post-game call-in show. If we get a lot of engagement, I might open up the phone lines in start of the second half to check the temperature of the crowd. So there's that. We will talk to you guys tomorrow.